So, another garden video, just showing you, here's a pumpkin plant. Looks like there's plenty of flowers coming onto it, but looks like something's knocking off some flowers and leaves. The second pumpkin, not looking too bad. Here's a zucchini that I don't know if a strong wind blew it around or what, but it's not looking as healthy as it was earlier. Behind it, another pumpkin plant and yet another pumpkin plant. Back here, these are all beans up on this trellis. Let's see if we can actually find one. Yeah, apparently I didn't make the trellis tall enough, as you can see, because it's starting to try to branch out again. And I was hoping to find a pea pod to show. I don't see one just yet. Well, it's rather disappointing that I can't even find one to show off. These are some radishes that don't seem to be doing terribly well, but that's not shocking with the hot weather that we've been having. The mint is flowering nicely. It looks really pretty. Then, coming over to the back side of the garden, my pot of carrots is looking beautiful. I should probably yank those very soon. Rhubarb has mostly died off, but it's starting to spring up again. This pot, well, grew nothing, as you can see, which was disappointing, but whatever. I tried both parsnips and I don't know, something else. I'll remember later. Tomatoes are looking beautiful. There's a real nice big one there, like that. These little cherry tomatoes are booming over here. This is lettuce that bolted on me, but hey, I was able to enjoy some while it lasted. Look at these beauties. Unfortunately, I bought the majority of these tomatoes as seedlings, and when I bought them, they were not labeled as to which was which. So I know I got 6 different varieties, which is good, but I have no idea which is which. So we'll have to find out later. Every tomato is doing well. I also had a ton. Look at this thing. Look at how tall it goes. All the way up. These stakes are about 9 feet in the air. So tomatoes are just booming up here. I have to tie that one up again, as you can see. It's starting to branch out. And more tomatoes. I also had several volunteer plants just pop out of the ground. So some of them I moved, some of them I just plopped a stake into the ground and let them go where they may. Little cucumber. Let's see what else we got down here. Oh, there's another little guy. A couple more babies. What keeps happening on the cukes, it's kind of funny. Every now and again, it'll grow through the trellis, and as you can see, these are very small openings. So when it's a baby, it can squeeze on through there, no problem. But once it starts to get a little bigger, it becomes more of an issue. So it's kind of funny. I just have to break it in half, and well, then I ate a cucumber out in the garden. That's never a bad thing, right? So getting down under here, we can see my green beans with the white flowers. I just picked a big harvest of them. I have a volunteer cabbage that just started growing randomly on its own. No idea what kind it is or anything else, but as you can see, the cabbage moths are really eating it up. These right here beautiful little pepper. Those are actually ghost peppers. Growing those for the first time this year. This guy down here is called the dragon chili. It's supposed to be a level hotter than the Carolina Reaper. Something, I don't know what, something ate it completely. Like they decimated it down to every leaf, just down to the twigs. And it is trying to come back. It's doing its best. So hopefully that will stay around. Then I'm going to run around the side here. More tomatoes here. These all grew up on their own. No help from me, no planting, nothing. I just drove stakes into the ground where they were. These ones are turning a really pretty purple color. Some beets that I planted in March. I have no idea why they didn't grow back in March, but they just sprouted in May. So that was rather annoying. This monstrosity is horseradish. I bought a big old horseradish root at the store, cut it into fourths. I saw online that you cut it on a bias and then bury each section, so literally all 4 sections started growing. It was pretty awesome. Tomato plants also started growing on their own in the garden. I did transplant these ones because I didn't like the location that they chose, so I moved them. A couple of big old zucchinis here. Very nice looking zucchinis and cucumbers. Better shot of them. Have been my most productive plants so far. I keep picking them almost every day and they're just booming. Some more peppers here that I got from a friend that I met on Facebook. He gave me all these cabbage plants as well. I think he gave me a dozen, and what you can see is 5 of them. They're still hanging on. Another little pepper plant under here. He gave me a bunch of just assorted peppers. A lot of them are sweet peppers like the Big Jims, or he also gave me some Raisa Macedonia. That's the name of it. Let's see, these peppers are doing great as well. There's another green bell pepper. I put in 6 different bell peppers. This one was labeled a yellow bell pepper. No idea if that's what it is. This one is called an early yellow, but I'll be damned if that doesn't look like a jalapeno. We'll see how it comes up. This I originally thought was an onion, but with the size of it, I mean, that's a giant thick stalk. I'm thinking that might be a leek. No idea, really. And let's see what we got here. That is a red baron pepper. And we've got a couple little guys on there. That's good. Always good to see that. This one back here. Of course, I found the label. This is just called Big Red. And this one was just a red bell. So, moving on. Jalapenos are looking gorgeous, as always. I may just pick this bunch as is, and then that will spur the plant to start growing, releasing more flowers in pods. At least that's what I've been told by people who know more than me. This is a hell of a mystery. This was sold to me by the same person who sold me the other jalapeno plant over there, and he labeled this as a jalapeno as well. I don't think this is a jalapeno. I mean, that looks like more like a bell pepper of some sort, or maybe even a cherry pepper, but that doesn't look like any kind of jalapeno I've ever seen. This guy in here was said to be a Carolina Reaper plant. Me not being a master, I don't know if that's a Reaper or not. More cucumbers. I love them. Look at that. Big guy. Another one here. Another one down on the ground. It's probably, yep, there's another one inside. Two more inside. Man, I literally picked this thing clean yesterday. I swear. These cucumbers are absolutely prolific. As long as you keep picking them, they will keep booming. I can make another jar of pickles right now. Drop some more volunteer tomatoes out right next to the compost heap. Big surprise. They just started growing on their own, so I literally tied them up to the slats of the compost heap. Just figured I'd let them grow that way. Bunch of green beans down here. Been picking those like crazy as well. And I think next year I'm going to have to try to stake those up better than I did this time because they keep falling over. Then my finished compost that is ready to spread anytime. Another random pumpkin plant that just decided to grow here. No idea if it's going to produce anything or not. No idea what kind it is. It just is what it is. And the compost heap that I keep adding to randomly as I go. So that's the garden. I think I missed a couple of tubs of chives over there, but that's the long and short of it. Do the wide view here. Nice amount of greenery. And then got the section over by the shed. Cheers, everyone.